Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and it's time for a WIP Chat. I am working on my Heaven and Earth design. So this one is Mini Beautiful Light. It has 15 colours and it's 46 centimetres by 82 centimetres. I'm still working on the first 46 centimetres, but we'll get there. So I've got up my panel, so I like to work on a group of 60 by 20 because I find it fits nice in my screen. I do have it sort of marked. So this canvas is actually bigger. This canvas is 70 by 100. It worked out cheaper for me to buy a bigger canvas. So I will get to the point where I can trim this down, but I want to reach the end before I think about doing that. But that's my next sort of 60 section. Let's see how far I can zoom in, because on the Heaven and Earth designs, I don't tend to zoom in quite as much so that you guys can still see what's going on the tablet. So let's go for about there. I'm going to move my case to this side to see if I can have my computer about so I can actually read questions. But to start off with, I'm going to start with the black, because I do find on this one, the first section that I did, I started with, I think I started at the top, and it got extremely confusing fast because I found I was doing some of the lighter colours before I was doing some of the darker colours, and it can be very, very hard to tell. I'm just going to shift that back a little bit because I've not done a very good cutting job. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to start with the black, get the black down on the canvas, and then it's a lot easier once it's marked off to know where I'm up to. But it does only have 15 colours, this one, so it's probably the easier one of my two Heaven and Earth designs, because my other one has 239, I think it is, colours. It's intense. It's definitely intense. But I'm working on a blank canvas. I do have videos on the whole process of setting up a Heaven and Earth designs. I do have a couple of playlists on my YouTube channel that involve these Heaven and Earth designs, both the smaller one and the bigger one. And then I do also have a section on my website under videos, and that has sort of the key setup parts of my Heaven and Earth design canvas. So if you want to see all the WIP Chats on any progress on any of these, then the YouTube channel's the best. If you just want the key points on how to do a Heaven and Earth design, how to get yourself set up on the likes of Pattern Keeper, how to order your canvas and work out the size of it, then you're best on the website. Just keep trying to check that you guys can still see what I'm doing. I will show the rest once I'm finished, or once I've finished this section at least. But yeah, just want you guys to be able to see as much as you can, as close up as you can, while still being able to see what I'm doing on the tablet. And every now and then I do hit the check mark on what I've marked off, just so that it saves it and I don't get fat fingers and decide to knock it all off. But I am using my spares for this. So the quality of the diamonds, some of them are better than others. But I do find if you mix, in effect, bad diamonds with good diamonds, then the bad diamonds aren't as bad, which is always helpful. helps to use up the spares, because I have so many spares in 310. I really have loads. There is no point in me buying diamonds for this project when I have so many. I have plenty to choose from. I'm getting stuck to the canvas as well. So, comments, questions, etc. So I'm going through a few different comments that I've had on previous WIP and Chats. I'm not doing it like the December Advent. So I'm not reading out every comment that isn't just an emoji, but I am going to try and read out and comment and discuss most of them. But I do need to make sure that I've sort of pretty much got through all the comments by the end of the WIP and Chat, otherwise they all catch up with me. Oh, so why is that not? Come on. Had a moment then, I thought it wasn't ticking off what I'd done, but we got there. And on to my next square. Quite bulky, this one as well, so hopefully it'll get done quicker. But I was determined I was getting out a Heaven and Earth design for today, because one of my goals for the new year, and I say a goal because life happens, things do change, but I'm going to try my best to stick to my goal of doing my Heaven and Earth designs at least once a month. I don't need that one. I do like the suggestion that I had. Somebody did suggest in a way of me trying to do a little bit more of my Heaven and Earth designs is doing a WIP and Chat to then do a section myself. So then to maybe move the Heaven and Earth designs into my conservatory and do a section in my own time to sort of help speed it along. And I do like that idea. I'm not sure. Oh, I just need to untick those because I've not done them yet. I do like that idea. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to do it this weekend because my youngest actually turns 18 tomorrow, or today, the day you're watching this. The youngest turns 18. So we do have things going on in the house, but I might try and keep it about. So I might keep it rolled up, but not put it away in its box. Just keep it on the side of my desk as sort of a reminder, and try and pull it out this upcoming week so that I can get sort of the last, I think it's the last section on this strip, done at some point through the next week. And therefore I am doing that extra little bit of progression between WIP and Chats. I'm also ploughing through Minions as well. That is getting closer to being at the end. I don't know how soon I'll get there. I recently unboxed 2 custom diamond paintings on my other channel from Deals. They were kind enough to send the custom in both a square and a round, so I am really excited to do those. But what I've decided to do in relation to kitting those up is it's actually going to be in a couple of weeks. So I have already sort of outlined my video schedule for the next few weeks. It does sometimes change, but I've got a rough schedule of a video for the next few weeks. And that is based on the fact that I still have some de-kitting to do. So Zesty Wolf gets de-kitted this week. I then still have this Home Fun succulents to de-kit and put away, that I finished while December Advent was on. So I finished it shortly after, the December Advent. I finished it over Christmas. So my plan is, because I need to dekit those before I think about kitting anything else up, is I'm not going to kit up the logo customs early. I'm going to wait until it's in my schedule to do. And in the meantime, I'm going to plough through the Minions painting in an attempt to get that, you know, closer and closer to being done. That's going to be the one I work on. At least I think it's this week and next. I think the next sort of opening in my schedule to ensure that videos are varied, the next opening I have for a kitting up is, I think it's actually right at the beginning of February. And once I've kitted it up, that's when I'll start working on it. And hopefully Minions will be either done or very close to being done by then. We'll see. It might appear in another WIP and Chat yet. As I finish it off, it might not. That will purely depend on how much time I get over the next few weeks to get some done. But I do have a very, very busy next few weeks. Yeah, so we'll see whether it happens or not. Oh, let's just throw one of those out. I automatically end up shaking diamonds and moving them over to try and get these diamonds that are really close to the edge, because it's less space for my pen to move, which means I can get it done quicker. So yeah, I hope everybody is well. I do still have your questions to go through. I know I've just gone off on another tangent. So Duchess, she says, I thank you, Rebecca, for finally convincing her to switch to glue dots. She says she's tossed the wax. She has K-tiered metal tips. And has no issues with glue dots in them. She currently has the 5mm dots, which are too big, but she cuts them in half and fills her pen with half of them. She says that lasts a long time. She says her tips have never had wax in them. She had noticed that as she switched over to using glue dots, any tip that she had with wax or blue tack in, the glue didn't like to stay in. Another tip for people starting out with glue dots is, she says, don't roll the dot in your fingers. She says no matter how clean you think your fingers are, the glue dot will pick up anything and everything, then not stay inside your tip. She says, so using my rolling method, she says that's fine. She says, and she hopes that that helps the person who was having trouble with using K-tiered tips. So there you go. The grease or the oils on your fingers when putting the wax. No, I don't want that one. The oil on your fingers from when adding the glue dots can mean that it doesn't stick to the inside of the pen, whereas actually using your finger when you've started with a glue dot can help lose some of the tackiness that you need to be able to pick up the diamonds nicely. So thank you for that, Duchess. I'm kind of happy that you've moved over. I know glue dots are not for everybody. I don't think anything is for everybody. You know, apart from the fact that we all need to eat and we all need to breathe, I don't think that there's anything that you can class as being perfect for everybody. And I do recognise that, but I do realise that if people do give glue dots a fair go, that they can really, really make a difference. Using wax now and having to top up the wax often, it is not something I like at all. And I find glue dots is so much better. it just takes that time away of having to fill up wax all the time, which gives you more time to actually put diamonds onto canvases, which is what the hobby is all about, isn't it? I had a diamond that didn't want to stay on my pen. Okay, so that is all the black in that section. There is some over here, but that's going into the next square. I'm not starting to chase diamonds from one square to another. I especially find with Heaven and Earth design, I think when I first started, I started just doing a square of 10, and I've only built it up a little bit each time over time, to the point that I now am happy with this size because it fits in my tablet screen. I find it's a nice size. My fingers can touch all of the diamonds and still locate them all, you know, still get all the diamonds popped down. And yeah, I don't want to go any bigger with my selection, because I'll find that my fingers will select too big a space, for example. And I don't want to go smaller to work on a smaller section, because I want to feel as though I'm getting somewhere with my Heaven and Earth design with each section that I do. So this works for me. So while there isn't too many other really dark colours in the selection that I've got today, I am now going to go through in number order for the rest. Just because otherwise it's a matter of which one do you pick, which one do you not. So I've done 169, so now we'll go for 317, because there's only a scattering of some of these others about. Let's see how many I can get that are already the right way up before I shake my tray. And I'm doing it section by section, so I'm still sort of working in a 10 by 10 grid, and I'm doing any diamonds I need to place in that before I move up to the next section. And then I move over to another one. I don't have many diamonds that are left the right way up. So let's give that a little shake, see if I can get some more lined up. And then I can finish off these, marking them off as I go along, because especially once I start building up the amount of greys that are in this, it's a lot easier to know that I've marked them off as I go along. And then get the rest back in the tray. Next comment question. It's not as easy with the comments while diamond painting when I'm working on the Heaven and Earth designs. I do need to concentrate a little bit more on the Heaven and Earth designs than I do on my others, which is why my mammoth WIP chat, I was definitely doing my minions to have a hope of being able to get through all the comments and things. So Donna Marie, she says, hi Rebecca, she says, thank you for your advice. She says she did end up using wax in a multi-placer, and that worked out okay, but also the glue dot in the diamond painting pen single placer also worked. She said she did try the wax crayons, but they kept slipping off the drill or the gem, and the tweezers she uses ended up flinging the gem. But also she says when Autumn wakes up, she tries to grab it. Autumn is her baby. I think she's about 5-6 months old, if I remember rightly, though that figure could have been plucked from anywhere. Knowing me, I've slept since then. She said Autumn was napping but woke up when she heard your voice, she said, and she's now watching your video too. Oh, that's so sweet. She says she's taken a pic which she can upload onto the group or to you directly if you like. She said she loves your videos as much as me. And it's so sweet how they recognise things like videos, isn't it? She says, Happy New Year from South Wales. She also says, thank you so much for your advice and help. Your videos are awesome and have definitely helped me and keep Autumn entertained too. Oh, that's amazing. I love it when, you know, when people do comment and say, you know, whether it be pets or children, that just recognise that a video's come on. I'm not so keen on the ones that recognise a video's come on and aren't impressed and object to a video coming on, but otherwise they do make me smile. It's amazing what kids can pick up and stuff, isn't it? Okay, I feel like I need to do a little bit of concentration before I read out the next one and get this little batch of a symbol done. It does confuse me sometimes when I do see them in the next column, but it does give me nice bold lines so that I can make sure that I, you know, don't stray too far over the lines or don't try and go into a place that I'm not doing today. Okay, I only need a few of these, so let's see if I can just tip out a few. My pots are very full because I've not got too far into this and I have loads of spares for these. So when I first started doing this one and kitted it up, I of course tipped the spares in until the pot was full. So I have very much got pots that are fit to bursting with diamonds at the moment, but that should get easier as I go along and I just fill them up when I need it. Okay, that's that one done. So that was 413. We got any? Oh yeah, we've got some 414. All the greys, all the different shades of grey. Okay, let's get some of these done. Things will get easier when I do get to the last colour, because I'm pretty sure it is, yeah, it's the 5200 that is the star, or the sun shape, sorry, rather than a star, and that will be filling in all the gaps once I'm done. So it will be a lot easier when it comes to me doing that, because I can just fill in everything that's left. I do like filling in gaps though when I have these little holes that I fill in with diamonds. The little click, click, click of getting a section filled in feels like it's good progress, which is always nice. But you do get quite a scattering of colours around, even though it is a black and white image. There's quite a lot of different shading around, especially sort of around the edges of the black before I get to the point of filling in the white. So that was colour number 6. So 6 colours done. Getting a few of the lighter colours now. I think I do still have some dark colours though. I have like a very dark green to do yet. But we've got some of the lighter colours. I do have a couple of different shades of 415 in my pot, but that's fine. I do still find that the shading comes out, and you'll be able to see when I zoom out later. You can definitely still see what the image is, even though some of my shades of grey are slightly different, depending on what kit my diamonds came from. Oh, is that it? Oh, that is. All the rest are outside of my block. Another one down. So 535, I actually only have one, and that is it's sort of a dark grey green. 535. Okay, we've got any more? Oh, we've only got 2 of those as well. And this is another green, 647, because black and white does often have green purple. What's the other colour that it has that you sort of wouldn't expect? So it has your grey, your black and your white. Green, purple. I'm trying to think if there was another colour. I mean, this one has a beige. It's also one of the... Oh, can't believe it's been like 25 minutes already. I'm not sure if that's when my camera decided to save. It can't make its mind up between like 20 minutes and 25 minutes. It does it at some point in between. I don't know what causes it to pick what time frame it's going to be. But it saves the information that it does. So as long as it saves it, I'm happy. Okay, 5 more to go. 762. We've got quite a few of those. I've got quite a few different shades of 762 as well. Let's see how many shades I've got in there. If I have got a couple that are together, I do try to put roughly the same shade next to each other. But if I have, you know, a bigger gap between them, then I'm not as precious if they're the same shade, because I find it looks different when you step further back from it anyway. I just keep doing my best with it and using what I have, because that's the idea, and I don't think it will make that big a difference. I'm hoping it doesn't, but if so, at least my experiment will tell us all that if it makes a big difference having, you know, quite a few different shades in the one colour. But some of these are more beige than grey. And I don't quite know. I'm guessing that's just a different manufacturer from some of the kits that I've had. Oh, I still want that one. It's probably my worst one for colour difference, but it is such a pale colour as well. It can be very easy to make that, you know, for that to be completely different. Okay, more questions or answers. So Susan says, she says, from the bottom of her heart, she says she wants to thank me for the awesomely long WIP and Waffle. Oh, we've got another greeny type colour now with 3072. She said it's helped her get through 2 very large sections of a diamond painting that is emotionally draining for her. She says when she finished her June Waffle early, she was supposed to do this one. It's her custom from Ever Moment and was supposed to be a wedding gift for her dear nephew and his fiance. She said it's emotionally draining because it was not good enough for a wedding gift, and it's definitely not up to EM's normal standards. She said she's still giving it to them, but it is now going to be just because gift. She said the drills are not the best. And you can still see the grid line, she said, between the light coloured drills. Not to mention the rivers on the canvas. She says she's put this aside for months because she just didn't want to work on it. But because of this video, she says she's pulled it back out. And now she's more than halfway done and she can see the end in sight. So thank you. She says she also got her black tray finally, she says, and it's even sleeker in person than it was on film. She says, I love it, you're the best. Yeah, the black tray was amazing, I must say. I was so impressed with how the print turned out, and I don't know whether it's because it was black as much as, you know, the filament was good. It is from one of our regular suppliers of filament, one of the regular manufacturers that we do use. So we are very happy with the filament in itself. We do find it's amazing. But yeah, the black was just, it did look so sleek. Sleek is definitely the word. for the black. It looked amazing. So I've only got 3 more colours left on this one, so I definitely need to get a wiggle on with the questions and comments, but I do think that once I get to the point I can tip out this 5200, things are going to be a lot easier on that front, because I won't need to be paying attention and counting squares and things from where I actually am now. I will be able to just go. And it'll be a bit like more like a normal diamond painting. Okay, let's see how many we have of 3865, and we still have quite a few. And let's get the next couple of questions or comments ready. Cat Lover, she says, please don't get rid of the standard colours of trays. She says, I'm often unavailable when limited colours are released and would never have been able to get one if it wasn't for the standard colours. She said, of all the limited editions, she was only able to get one because she happened to be available on the day it was released. She said, happy that the shop is doing well, but without the standard colours, she says, people like me would never be able to get one of your fantastic products. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the standard colours are going to stay. You know, they work in relation to giving people that haven't tried a tray a nice variety, in my opinion. It's a nice varying amount of colours. And yeah, I'm happy that, you know, there is enough there for people to be able to get, in effect, some more basic colours with the white and the grey. But then there is that little bit of colour with the pink, which is, of course, the shop colour. And the pink tray has always been an extremely popular tray. It's always done really, really well. So I am happy to keep the basic colours in both trays, and then we will continue to release limited edition as and when we can. Of course, the main priority is keeping the basic colours in stock, so that if people do want to try the trays or do want a basic colour tray, they can get one, and it can be shipped out to them, you know, within our normal turnaround shipping time, i.e. as quick as possible. Sometimes there is you know, a little bit of a delay, whether it be because we've run low of an item that we create ourselves and we need to create some, you know, do some more, especially if things get extremely busy. We can sometimes find that there is a surge on certain products. That can, you know, mean that we sell loads in one day. Whether, I don't know whether it's a comment or whether it's a video that goes up. Sometimes I know it's a video. Sometimes it can be a comment in another group that just that makes certain things surge. So sometimes we do have a day or two delay shipping things out, especially if, you know, there has been like an influx of logbooks purchased, and we need to print and create and bind some more, which can sometimes, you know, need both Megan and I to be able to have a block of time to do that, which, you know, just may mean another day or so before an order can get shipped out. But normally we do try and ship them out within like 24 hours. I often finish work, pack orders so they can get shipped out the next day, and then, yeah, see what the rest of the evening brings, dependent on what's going on. But yes, we will be keeping the standard trays, no problem at all. Okay, I am on the final colour, though I do have a lot of diamonds to place in this colour. I'm not having a particular system when I place these now. I just know I need to place them. So what I might do actually, because we don't actually need the tablet now until it gets to the point of me filling it in. So that's as much as my camera will zoom in. Let's go on an angle, because it's a little bit easier for me when I'm working flat to go on an angle. And let's go diamond dotting. I'm going to move the tablet out the way actually. I'll move it back after. I'm just going to move my computer forward so that I can try and read some of these comments at the same time as putting diamonds down, while I don't have to follow the pattern anymore. All Things Crafty by Kaz. She says she had a fairly good week, though she does have a bad cold. Yes, I got that one at Christmas. It's a monster. She says she's seen my mammoth WIP Chats, and she's been working on her winter tree diamond painting. As she's watching this video, she says she's on her last square. She's had to do a lateral flow test, she said negative, and a PCR, she says, on advice of the nurse in charge yesterday, which also came back negative. She said, thankfully, touch wood, I've not had that dreaded word. Yeah, I've not either. I've had that monster cold though. We do lateral flow tests pretty much daily in this house, unless we know we are, you know, we might have a day off if we know we're not going out anywhere. But we have taken to pretty much taking them daily, because since a member of our house did have it and caught it very early on a lateral flow test due to the fact of taking them regularly, and they managed to not pass it on to anybody in the household. And of course they didn't go out of the house, but they managed to not pass it on to anybody in the house. Then we do recognise the importance of them, and that if they can be taken regularly, they can seriously stop us passing it on to anybody else. So we do them a fair amount in this house. But yeah, a few of us did get the stinking cold. The cat lady, she said resin drills are the so-called better drills. She said, to be honest, she hasn't noticed much difference when working on them, but the acrylic does seem to have more facets. Yeah, I did get a question the other day. I'm not sure if it was on another video or it was via email. I think it was on another video, where somebody asked me if I do separate the resin and the acrylic drills. I would not be able to tell you the difference between them if they were mixed up. Even if they're in here, like now, in this lot, I could not tell you what the difference is between the two of them. I do know that, you know, that one is better than the other and tends to have less deformities and things, I think. Or does it have more because they're better? I'm not sure. I know the deformities that they can have are different. But I tend to use either or both. And of course on my Heaven and Earth design, they're well and truly mixed between the two. I'll have both acrylic and resin in this lot. And it doesn't seem to make too much difference to me which one I have. And of course I've got a pen that I haven't put a straightener tip in at the moment. I do have my straightener tips though. Where did I put them? Did I put them where I thought I put them? Maybe not. Or maybe I did. Did I put them here? Oh, hang on. No, found them. I actually got a pack of these ones. They're smaller than the ones that come in our pens. And while I do like the ones that come in our pens, the big long ones, you get them with these pens to put them in. I just never put one in. These smaller ones, which are like a 6. Oh, they're like a 6 placer, a 6 straightener. These fit, my pen fits in my pen holder nicer with a 6 on it. So I have changed all of my tips to a 6 straightener, purely for fitting in my new pen holder. Not because I necessarily prefer the 6 over the, I think it's a 9 straightener. And the 9 straightener I do quite like. It can definitely be handy when you've done, you know, a big line of diamonds. Just getting rid of a couple that are trashy. I do find that the 6 straightener works just as well for what I need it for, which is normally just a little nudge when something goes out of line. And as I say, it fits nicely in my pen holder, so it's purely for that reason that I decide to put 6 straighteners on all of mine. But I think I just picked up a pack of 100 from AliExpress, so I've not quite hit 100 pens yet. I do have a lot of pens, but I've not hit 100. All Things Crafty by Kaz. Oh, she did say that she'd gone for, I think it was a cream tea, and I did ask what she got. So she said she got chicken sandwiches, egg mayonnaise sandwiches, mushroom bread, scones with clotted cream and jam. Good. It's not a proper cream tea without your clotted cream and jam. She says she got Yule log cake and coconut cake. She said hubby did have a great day. She said happy belated heavenly birthday to your Nana. Oh, thank you. No, that sounds amazing. That sounds an amazing cream tea, as long as it has the scones with the clotted cream. Didn't quite have the cucumber sandwiches, but then again, I don't know how popular they are anyway, really. I think that's just more for the basis of saying that you were given them than actually wanting them. Jackie says, thank you for keeping me company while working on section 8 of her cat box foldable storage cube. It still catches me unaware, she says, when you mention my name. Well, there you go, caught you unaware again, Jackie. But yeah, I think it's always nice to read out who it is that's read out the comment, isn't it? I'm just doing a shuffle of my diamonds because, as I say, this is all purely because I like them to be closer to the edge if I can. I won't dislodge any diamonds that have settled in the middle. I think it's just sort of my little bit of order. I like to keep shuffling them until they're all in place, and I just keep nudging as many as I can closer, and then I will just work my way, a bit like a diamond painting. I'll work my way through a diamond painting, I'll work my way through the tray until I can get it how I like it. Okay, Debbie said, been watching the WIP and Waffle. She said she actually tested positive for COVID on Friday, so now she gets 10 days of diamond painting. Keep thinking of the positives, Debbie. I hope you don't feel bad with it. I know symptoms have got milder, so I do hope that you have the mild symptoms and get to enjoy a full 10 days of diamond painting. And build your immune system up while you're at it. You know, that's you know, it's a double positive, isn't it? As long as you don't get any of the bad symptoms or become ill with it, then having a day of diamond painting while building your immune system is the positive side of things. Margaret said happy 9th of January. She said she didn't receive her logbook before Christmas, but she did receive it a couple of days ago. So Margaret is in Australia. My mum sent out my Christmas card plenty early enough for, you know, it wasn't like the last posting day to be able to say it could get from Australia to the UK. And it didn't turn up until I think it was about the 10th of January. It turned up, so I got a very belated Christmas card. So post definitely seems to have got a little bit bottlenecked at Christmas, I found. She did say that it was well worth the wait to get her logbook. She's been busy filling it with a few of the paintings that she finished over the Christmas period. She's decided not to be so ambitious this year and only work on 2 paintings at a time. She says Heaven and Earth designs and one from her stash chosen by the decision wheel. Yeah, sometimes I will take on, quite a few diamond paintings at once, and I too get quite overwhelmed with how many paintings that I could potentially, either be working on or have kitted up. And sometimes you do just have to take a little step back. I have come to the point where my Heaven and Earth designs, I class that as primarily a WIP and Chat painting. It's not a painting that I class as an ongoing one that I sort of work on off camera. And I think that helps me cope with the fact that I have 2 big Heaven and Earth designs as well as my others. But after having, a few different ones kitted up, and I had 2 large diamond paintings kitted up at one point with Minions and Mr. Quackers, I have taken the decision also to sort of take a little bit of a step back on how many are kitted up, and I just have 1 big and 1 small, not including my Heaven and Earth designs. And I've even sort of taken the decision that, my YouTube schedule will sort of decide when my next, smaller painting gets kitted up, according to, when I can fit the preparation video in. And if there is a gap before I can fit the preparation video in, then that's fine. I will do a chunk work on my large painting instead. And then I will flip to the smaller one for a nice bit of a change. And I might flip back and 2. But I am too limiting what I've got, which is why my next sort of custom ones of the logos that I was sent, I'm just not kitting them up at the moment, because that will get kitted up when it fits into my schedule, and it will give me a chance to get through my Minions a bit more. And maybe in turn get another section of this painting done off camera to help my Heaven and Earth design progress as well. So yeah, very good idea, Margaret. Helen Wright says she's just googled the Big W, and it was a shop operating between 1998 and 2004. She said the chains that owned it also owned Comet, B&Q, Superdrug and Woolworths. See, now with you saying 98 and 2004, Caris, my second child, was born in 98 and my youngest was born in 2004. So that's probably why I had absolutely no idea. Because over that time I added 3 children to my brood. Tina says she's loving her new white zesty tray. She said it's a great size for the quicker colour changes. Awesome. Helen's also said that that's an amazing take on a midnight snack. Tracy, she said, hi Rebecca, I hope you're having a nice weekend. She said thank you for the company and the chat. She wanted to let you all know that my hubby was not super excited about getting a diamond painting for Christmas, but he did eventually come around. And we worked a little together on the 2nd, she said. On New Year's Eve, the 5 of us, she said, because they have 3 boys. Okay, I'm not sure where it cut off then. But Tracy said, on New Year's Eve, the 5 of us, because they have 3 boys, sit at the dining table and work on the Legos that we all received for Christmas. It was fun and he seemed to be concentrating hard. At one point he said, "Oh, there's a flat side." And I just said, "Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that." She said it was cute. Sometimes you do just forget that, you know, the things that become the normal to us, like the diamonds have a flat side that goes down. And sometimes you forget that people have, you know, that have no idea of the hobby, don't necessarily realise that. She says we do have to work out some lighting issues, but overall she said it went well. He's not jumping at the opportunity to share the hobby, but I think it will go better, she said, than when we used to do puzzles. She's also added on, she said that she loves her trays and the colour paper is wonderful. She said she was so happy to get rid of the parchment paper. Take care and best wishes to you and your family. Oh, it's lovely that your hubby's joining you, Tracy. I do like that. I've tried to get my hubby to do it, but it's not his cup of tea, and I need to realise that. Another Tracy said she could relate to her comment because it was the first Christmas she gifted a diamond painting to the hubby. She said he looked so overwhelmed, so I promised we'd work on it together. He had tried to place on the faceted side and I had to remind him to place it on the flat side. She also has 3 sons too and they love Lego. Small world. Okay. I do still have a few comments. I've of course not done anywhere near as well because it's a heaven and earth design, but I will have a look through, and any that do have questions I will keep hold of and transfer to next week. But that is this one at the moment. I do feel like I need to start getting somewhere with it. So we've just done sort of the top, you see the top leaves of that bird. So the next section, which in fact this is where the tablet comes in very, very handy. So if I press and hold on here, oh hang on, no I don't want to do that, I want to highlight them first. Then if I press and hold, I can select all the unfinished highlighted stitches in a square and mark them off. So this is really good when I'm working in bulk. I can do it for the whole page, but of course I've not finished the whole page. So I am going to do it in a set of 6 squares. Okay, so that shows the section that I've just finished. And if I do move it over, that is my last section here, which as you can see by this, compared to this, is a very, very little bit of that bird. And then it's all black. So I think that's quite a nice section for me to do off camera, in the fact that it is a lot of black. Especially once this bit's done, the rest is all black. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do this section, I think, in the next week or so, or at least before my next WIP and chat on this. Get the next section done, potentially cut down the canvas. I'm still a bit unsure on whether to do that yet or later. And then what we can do is we can, so if I zoom out, the further out you zoom, the more it takes away the symbols so that you don't see them. So that shows the same as what I've got here. And then once I've done that one, of course, I'll be doing this section here, which will be a little bit more interesting for the next WIP and chat. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to do that section, which is my grid of 6, but then there is just a tiny, tiny strip extra. I'll get that done before we next do this, and then we can start down here and work across. And yeah, that is today's WIP and Chat done, but thank you all so much for joining me. As always, do keep your comments and questions coming. I will get to, reply to some of them / do some of them on camera, be a mixture of the two. But next week I need to do, in fact, do I for dates? Let me just confirm. Oh no, I do. I've got this WIP and Chat done for the 16th. There is actually 5 Sundays in January. So my aim is still to try my best to do my next Heaven and Earth design next week, because then I've done in each month. But if not, I do have another Sunday just in case. But I'm going to try and put them nearer the beginning of the month so that I can keep my goal. And if I get any extra days on it, then so be it. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.